The estimates regarding the amount of people who were killed by the 1918 flu pandemic are at their lowest, 40 million. Some estimates, however, put this number at 50 million to 100 million. This is in no way a small number. The reason this is important is because right now we have an outbreak of a new type of flu, that being swine flu, or H1N1 as it's now being called. Right now, however, many people are trying to downplay the threat that swine flu poses. In this case, it is best to learn from history and what we experienced through the 1918 flu. In March 1918, some of the first cases of the 1918 flu pandemic were noticed. Now, there were two oddities that this flu mainly had in common with the swine flu that we have today. One is that it infected young, otherwise healthy adults instead of just infants and old folks. Another was that it struck in March when most flus strike in winter. However, probably the most important thing that I want to point out is the death toll during the first outbreaks of 1918 flu. For the first 3 months, deaths were very rare with this new strain of flu. However, after 2 or 3 months, deaths started to increase during the months of June and July. Then after this small increase in the number of deaths, we go through another 2-month period of there being almost no deaths, percentage-wise. It wasn't until early October of 1918, about 6 months after the first virus outbreaks, that this virus actually started killing people in large numbers. After this period in the winter where it was deadly, it went back to being not so deadly again, and then came back for another outbreak in spring of 1919 before finally disappearing. This is why catching the swine flu virus early is so important, because the evidence shows that just because it's not deadly now doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. So, this is not a media hype. This is a foreign pathogen that is infecting humans and can transmit itself between humans very easily and is very quickly making its way around the world. It's not reason to panic and run around in circles, but it is something to be concerned about, and it is something to keep an eye out for. Alright, I think that's the basic gist of this video. That's all I have to say. See you guys.